family's battle to get the death of their RAF firefighter son re-investigated 9 years on.
To die on a military base the way he died, I don't believe for a minute it was suicide.
The parents of a firefighter found dead at RAF Benson in 2011 are meeting the chief coroner to try and get a fresh investigation into his death. An inquest ruled that Robert Fleeting took his own life, but as David Sybil's McCann reports, his family do not believe it was suicide.
Robert was 24, always a happy wee boy, always willing to give you a hand. He was just one of these kind of boys.
He was destined to join the military and eventually joined the Royal Air Force as a fireman.
We thought his life's starting now and the RAF will always look after him. We're just so happy. We just thought that's him. He's settled down south and...
Yeah, he told us he was living his dream. But unfortunately, his dream became your nightmare. On the 4th of September 2011, when he was found dead in his room.
Robert was discovered in his bedroom at RAF Benson in Oxfordshire after a night out. An inquest ruled his death was a suicide, but his parents are unconvinced he took his own life.
I think there was foul play. I don't believe for a minute, no, with the facts that were given us that my son committed suicide. He had far too much to live for. He wanted to be married, he wanted to have kids, he wanted to settle down. He had a big picture, he knew what he was wanting in life, and it surely wasn't to be portrayed as something he wasn't. And to die on a military base the way he died, I don't believe for a minute it was suicide.
I just think the whole system falls down when it comes to a death within a military base. Like, if someone dies and it's Civvy Street, the police have got that, I mean, they've got a kind of protocol to follow. When it comes to a military base, that all falls by the wayside.
The Justice for Robert campaign has been going for nearly a decade. The Fleetings hope it will result in a fresh investigation into their son's death. As they struggle to understand what happened the night Robert died, Susan and Charlie are due to meet with the Chief Coroner later in the year.
He has to meet with us and listen and understand the problems that arise when a death occurs within the military. Yeah, because everybody seems to think everybody's doing a good job and everybody relies on the person beforehand. There's nobody checking up on anybody.
We need him to get all the paperwork so that we can go to the Attorney General for a fresh inquest. That's the goal, that's our aim, is to get a fresh inquest to find out exactly what happened to Robert on that base.
A spokesman for Thames Valley Police said, "A review of the investigation into the death of Robert Fleeting was conducted by a senior officer from the Forces Major Crime Unit, and this review concluded that there was no evidence to show his death was caused through a third party. The coronial inquest determined that Mr. Fleeting took his own life. The thoughts of Thames Valley Police remain with Mr. Fleeting's family. They hope this meeting will pave the way for a new inquest and let them finally grieve for their son."
To know what happened to Robert without surmising would mean then, as a mum, I could grieve for him. I would then know why I don't have him. At the moment, I don't know, was Robert in pain? Was Robert upset? Was Robert drunk? Was Robert even alert? I don't know. And that's what stops you from grieving.
I would finally like to lay my boy to rest and instead of having to fight every I want to bring him home to rest. Just part of me's away, and then I can grieve.
David Sybil's McCann, Forces News.
Well, as you can see, Robert was destined to join the military, even for a wee boy. And then he became a fireman, joined the Royal Air Force. Sleep well, son. We'll get to the bottom of this.